Hello everyone, this is Colin once again. I apologize for not making a more recent video than this. I think I've already established in my past couple videos I'm extremely busy with life and all the aspects that come with it, and so I haven't been able to sit down and actually devote time to make a new video until right now. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do next. I know I'm going to continue making videos on psychology, but I'm going to be writing more articles on my blog, so stay tuned for that. If you guys, if you're watching this, you've never seen my blog, go to my blog if you'd like. There's a link for it on the main page of my channel. On the left-hand side, you'll find the link. I've also started a new account called Aussie CD Arts, ARTS. That account is not going to be for everyone who subscribes to this account, but I'd like to just sort of put the word out there that I've started this new account where I'll be analyzing and talking about and sharing and reading poetry, short stories, talking about authors that I enjoy, just a variety of different artistic ways of expression, and, you know, just sort of talk about, you know, concepts like that. So again, that channel's not going to be for everybody, but it's a channel that I wanted to make, and I have an introduction video on that channel for those of you who are interested. But this video, the title may confuse people, but what do I mean when I say Islam, a new introduction? And this video is sort of a video I've decided to make based on reaction that I've had. I've been doing a lot of soul searching lately. I'm taking an actual, you know, academic comparative religion class, which has caused me to really be be very introspective when it comes to what I personally believe, and I will be documenting my experiences from this class in either videos or probably more likely on articles on my blog. But that stuff I'll discuss later. For now, it has made me realize that the intellectual fallacy that we all have probably made at one point in our lives with regards to any group that we belong to, whether it's a religious group, a sports, you know, team, whatever, where we, or even an ethnicity for that matter, where we look at things on as a monolith, or at least we look at things as everything is just this one way. Now, we all prescribe, excuse me, we all prescribe to beliefs, whether we are of any religion or lack thereof. And I find that Islam, in being Muslim, is no different, in that, you know, if you say you are a Sunni Muslim, what is it that you mean by that? How do you identify yourself with that concept? And then within Sunni Islam, you have Shafis, you know, Hanafis, Malikis, Hanbalis, and then if you're a Shia, what school of thought in the umbrella that is Shia Islam do you belong to? Are you a 12 or an Ismaili? If you are more of a literalist fundamentalist, you say you're a Salafi. And also, what school of thought of Aqidah or belief do you belong to? Are you an Ash'ari? Are you some variation thereof? If you follow a path of spirituality within Islam, what school of thought of there do you belong to? And I know that a lot of people get really freaked out by this diversity, and I think this is probably the case with all religions, but the diversity exists because as humans we are diverse people, and we have a need for diversity because not all of us think alike. If I can borrow a phrase from Wayman29 here on YouTube, his catchphrase, which is, remember, friends, if everyone is thinking alike, then someone isn't thinking. And to go with, and I'll be doing future videos on the book by Carl Jung called Personality, Personality Types, which is, it's impossible to think that everyone thinks alike, literally. We may have a lot of agreements. I mean, this is why majority of Muslims identify with being Sunni in some school of thought therein. It's not because I'm not saying that we can't agree on things. It's just that our perceptions of certain topics are different from others, and that's why we have these different perspectives. Now, I didn't really mean to I know I'm rambling now, but my main focus for this video is this was a reaction to a lot of recent comments I've been getting in private messages sent to me asking me, does Islam teach blank? And then I kind of thought about that, because for the 3 or 4 years that I have been Muslim and have considered myself a Muslim, and I looked and I kind of had this realization of all the videos, the hundreds of videos I've made, I've always used the phrase Islam teaches, without really, thinking about, well, wait a minute, that's a big generalization I've just made. And then I realized, by answering these people's questions and then saying Islam teaches, I felt that that was not maybe the best route to take. And so it made me think, who am I representing when I make these statements? I mean, when I go to, like, Sunni tafsirs and I pull up the academic work that's done on Islam, who am I really representing there? And who I'm representing is what is considered to be the orthodox tradition of Islam, which would be considered to be Sunni Islam. And I'm a Shafi, so I tend to quote things with a Shafi bias. I'm a Shafi who happens to really enjoy the works of Imam Ghazali, and but it respects all the great scholars of that particular school. But that is my particular bias. So if the same question is posed to a 12er Shia, the answer is going to be different. And I hope that when people ask questions, and then when we answer, we can identify that who we are and where we're coming from, and the questioner needs to know that as well. So, of course, you're going to find even Sunni Muslims that will disagree about certain things. There are extremists in our religion, and to deny that, I think, is to deny reality. There are extremists that would say that some of the things that people who have a negative view of Islam, for example, people like Robert Spencer, when they say, well, Islam, and then again, he uses this fallacy, Islam teaches suicide bombing, or just whatever example you'd like to use. He is looking at certain Muslims in extreme situations, whether they are of the caliber of an organized extremists that have these views, or these are people in extreme situations that, for whatever reason, they go out and do X, Y, and Z. So, when you are looking for the answers to these questions about what does religion A teach, or in this example, what does Islam teach, you're asking a question with which an answer is not going to be a monolith of an answer. It's going to be whoever's answering the question. And because Islam has no pope, has no central authority like Catholicism has, but even you have different points of views in Catholicism even. That's just the nature of religion, organized religion. There are concrete tenets that majority of Muslims believe in, without question. But perspectives on certain things, need to be remembered, that there are different points of views. Now, when I answer these questions, when I make YouTube videos, I go to the Orthodox Sunni source material. I, of course, go to the Orthodox, the tenets of Islam, or the foundations of Islam, which would be the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet, the Hadiths of his sayings. But when I go for a deeper understanding, I go to commentaries done by Sunni Muslim scholars of a high academic, intellectual caliber. So, if that's not the answer you're looking for, if you don't care what the academics of Sunni Islam have to say about topics about the religion, then go talk to somebody else. Because I feel that people, when asking a question, like I just had a question posed to me, oh, Islam, endless war, and sex slaves, and blah, yada, yada, and I just thought, I've already done videos on this. I don't need to do this again. And really, my resources are from a particular place, which I think the majority of Muslims who are educated and know the religion, on an intellectual level, they know that that's the source material. So when I say a tafsir, or when I say that I'm getting it from this commentary, or I'm getting it from this scholar, a lot of Muslims, and I mean a lot of Muslims, I would say the majority of Muslims know, I would think when they're watching my video, they go, yes, I know what he's talking about. There's not an issue if you don't. I'm not trying to say that if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're somehow an idiot or stupid. I'm just saying that I feel, and I haven't been corrected on this, that my resources, the things I'm bringing up, are from the majority perspective that Muslims have on Islam. And I have to admit, I've been guilty of using the fallacy, well, Islam teaches this. As if it's like one big blanketed statement. I mean, you know, I have ignored the diversity when making such statements. And I think that when you are posing questions about Islam to Muslims, I mean, it would be ridiculous. I mean, you know, for example, if you, let's say you went up to a Shia Muslim with a Iranian cultural heritage and asked them to tell you what they thought of Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman, their response is going to be different than a Sunni Muslim giving you that same, and you know, a similar answer, or at least an answer to that same question. Excuse me. So when you're the questioner asking a Muslim their perspective on things, both parties taking part in that dialogue need to have an understanding of where each person is coming from, and that's how you get the best sort of dialogue. So if you haven't noticed, yes, this is a video response to not just one private message, but other private messages I've been getting, and me sort of thinking about this for a while now. You know, what perspective am I coming from, and you know, is it really fair to make such blanketed, broad brushstroke statements? I don't think it is. And so when someone like Robert Spencer says Islam teaches this, what the hell is he talking about? The diversity is immense. And when I say Islam teaches, what am I talking about? You know, when I go to defend Islam against harsh, albeit messed up, crazy, you know, misguided, criticism that goes beyond just worrying about extremists, but now we're talking about, you know, a whole bunch of people now. It is that, I think it's that concept that is forgotten. Who are we talking about when we say Islam teaches, or when we go to discuss the tenets and beliefs of Muslims? Who are we talking about? Because I'm sure a lot of stuff that I've said in my videos, a lot of Muslims don't agree with. And whether they're Sunni or otherwise. I'm sort of, as Smiley is watching some of my videos, the Smiley is going, well, I don't prescribe to that. So it's, and again, I don't want to get into this big sectarian thing of he or she's not a Muslim if they don't follow. I'm not interested in that. I'm really not. It's at this point in my life that the most important thing is to recognize that people identify themselves as blank, and that is something that needs to be understood. We can, of course, talk about where we disagree with each other and how different points of view are different about some subjects, and why we may think our tradition is in the right, but arguing is not going to get us anywhere. And I really just think that at this point in human history, it's a great way to think about and contemplate where we are coming from, and to not make such overgeneralizations. And I'm admitting that I've done this in pretty much all of my videos regarding Islam and even Christianity, for that matter. And for that I apologize to everyone. And if you haven't cared about that, then cool. If you guys knew where I was coming from because you know me, then that's also cool. But for those of you who sat there and went, well, where is he coming from? What is he talking about? This is now my video to sort of make this clear. So sorry for this sort of random rambling, but I felt that it was necessary. So please stay tuned. I do plan on doing, again, future videos on psychology, on Islam, on current events. I know a lot of you wanted me to comment on the politics that are going on. Oh, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now that needs to be discussed. And so whether it's on here or on my blog, please stay tuned. And I hope you're all doing well, whoever you are. And I will see you next time. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you all.